Well, hello, sports fans. I recently completed yet another process relating to skin cancer to hopefully keep me from getting too many more because I've had quite a few of them. Actually, I've had a number of cancers over the years. I survived prostate cancer from the year 2000. It was a brutal thing. Went through lots and lots of issues about that, which I think may contribute to the fact that I'm having so many issues now. I don't know, I can't prove that, but the one that was even more significant as far as I can guess, I'm not an expert, X is an unknown quantity and a spurt is a drip under pressure, right? So the thing I think may have contributed to the fact I have so many skin cancers was the radiation I got from non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And that's visible if you look on the side of my head here. I was radiated over this quadrant right here because I had lumps come up under my arm and in my neck. So massive amount of radiation, and I mean a lot, because of the chemo and it didn't work. I went through many rounds of chemo, lost my hair, the usual stuff. Those of you who have had cancer know what kind of an ordeal you'll go through. Well, I think maybe that has something to do with predisposing me to have more. In any case, I just finished what's called blue light to try to get rid of all the actinic keratosis, little lesions and so on that can turn into squamous or basal cell. And I've had several. I've had a number of those. Actually, I just went through some information. You can look all your own stuff up. I don't know. A lot of people don't know that, but you can get copies of your scans, copies of what the doctors have said if you want to. And I've always done that. So anyway, I went back through the records I have for my current doctor, skin doctor. Yeah. To see, I've had since 2022 13 squamous cell carcinomas that required surgical removal and 5 basal cell. Now, I don't have anything before that, but I've been going to the dermatologist for years and years and years. So I suspect that I'm probably up around 20, 25 SCCs and maybe 10 or 15 BCCs. I don't know. But anyway, I decided, along with my dermatologist babe, of course, that I needed to do things besides just squirting nitrogen all over me. Done a lot of that too, to try to get rid of these things. And one of the things that they'll suggest, and if your dermatologist suggests this, you might want to consider it, is that when you get stuff on your face or any place that shows, you really don't want to have 25 blasts of nitrogen on your face. It's better to do something that's all over. And to do that, it's called a skin peel. Now, the early ones, way back when I was a kid, people used to talk about that. Yeah, use sandpaper and just sandpaper your face down. No, there's a much newer, although still been around for a while, a way to do that, and that's to do a chemical peel. And no doubt some of you that are watching this video have already done that, and you can tell your friends it's miserable. Use something like this, Fluorosil topical cream. I've done this. I've done it on my hands. Not so much pain on that, enduring pain, but not so much. You put this on your face, you have to put it on for a long time. I'm sure, once again, many of you have watched other videos where people have done this, and it looks horrible because you have to put this on day after day after day after day for sometimes weeks at a time. It hurts, it burns, it's a mess. You can't shave. You look terrible, and it hurts all the time. Maybe yours didn't, mine did. So when this was suggested that I could do, instead of a chemical peel like this horrible stuff right here, by using what's called photo they shine some light on your face using a particular kind of cream, not this. And it activates and effectively gives you the same kind of a thing, a sunburn, skin burn, a face peel. And I just did my third one. And so this is part of the reason why I wanted to do this was not so much about the cancer. You get cancer, you're going to have them cut that thing out if it's on your skin. Other things like non-Hodgkin's, if it's localized, perhaps they can remove some of the lymph nodes that are involved, but typically that's chemo or radiation, something like that, which is what I went through. So it's a lot better to do things that don't require cutting, but unfortunately in skin cancer, that's what it comes down to. I know there's some other protocols that people have been talking about, but when you want to do your face, I think it's the blue light, or if you're in Europe, I think they use a red light with a photosensitive cream. And part of the reason I wanted to do this is if that's what you're going to do, you're going to elect to have a photodynamic therapy, PDT, PDT. Their protocol has shifted over the last couple of years. The first time I went in, which is a number of years ago, the protocol was to go into the office. They clean your face with acetone and all kinds of stuff, kind of stings. And then they put this Lesions, I can't remember. They put this photosensitive cream on your face, and then you sat in the room for about half an hour, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour. So that stuff kind of like soaks in. And then they bring this blue light up and stick it on your face. And the next thing that happens is your face is instantly on fire. They might as well just shot some gasoline on there and lit a match. It's terrible. Now, here is a paper I would suggest that you might want to look up. It's from a company called Dermatoscopes. Because to get a little bit of background, you can freeze individual AKs, the actinic keratosis. But if there's a significant number of them, particularly around your face or neck, it really is more efficient to do this blue light or red light, either one. The paper will go into explanation on what the difference is between the blue and the red. But it's just a faster, more efficient way to do PDT, photodynamic therapy, than hitting each one of these individuals, because some of them might be so small, undeveloped, that you'll miss them if you try to do them individually, whereas this is like a wholesale blanket of your whole face. Is that you put the goop on and don't wait. Turn the blue light on right away. And that's what we did this time. And it doesn't hurt. It's kind of warm, but it doesn't hurt. Your face is not on fire. You can even walk out of the room, drive yourself home, unlike taking those pills on the first one. So you drive yourself home, not too bad. It's kind of warm, but the next day, all of that has taken effect, all right? And so now you have a sunburn. And I think I have some pictures. I'll stick them on here in just a second. So here's the before and here's the after the next day. Well, that continues for a couple of days, and I'm, I think, about 2 weeks out now. And there's almost nothing. Everything is peeled off. Nothing like those guys that show you those pictures. Oh my God. You know, here I am 5 weeks later, and oh gee, oh. So anyway, getting back to the skin cancer stuff that you didn't manage to avoid, there's one more thing I want to tell you. At least this is my personal opinion, because I've had this done so many times. When they actually remove the skin cancer, they have to cut it, right? They cut it out. If it's a small one, they can just make a little circle. Boop, you know, I had a bunch of them done like that. And the choice is, can you leave it open, or do you want to have it sutured closed or glued closed or bandaged closed using steri strips? And having done both ways, I can tell you that I choose, even on small ones now, open that little hole up and make a football shape out of it so that you can squeeze the sides of the football down and it'll make a kind of a straight incision, because I had hair until kind of recently. The one up here on the top of my head, yeah, this way, it's like that long, and there's no way you can not have a major scar up there. That's why my hair is gone all up here. So suture it, glue it, uh, staple it. It's a lot better, I think, than trying to handle an open sore. That's what it is if they do a round one, right? It's messy. You got to keep putting goop on it. So there's my whole thing. And then finally, one more little note here. I said, most of us that have gone through this, we're familiar with the three main types, right? Squamous, basal, and melanoma. But in fact, I was going through, what's the name of this? Skincancer.org. And they list some of these really rare ones. And some of them are terrible. Now, I can't even hardly pronounce them. Acrolentigious melanoma, cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, dermafibrosarcoma, protuberans, Kaposi's sarcoma. There's a bunch of other ones that almost nobody knows because they're kind of rare. Everybody's going after the really bad stuff, right? But squamous and basal can be bad. So just because they're not as bad as melanoma, make no mistake, these need to be taken care of. You need to stay on top of this. Think you got something, go check it out. You won't be able to figure it out. I'll tell you, I've had several dermatologists over the years, and I've watched them, and I'm looking at things, and I'm going, I think that might be, and they'll say, no, that's not it. But that little thing that you didn't even say anything about, that's concerning. We need to do a biopsy, and I'm the biopsy king. Yeah, maybe you are too. So that's kind of all I wanted to tell you is, if you're going to do your face, do blue light. Don't do cream. If you're going to have things cut and sewn back up, if they're not on your face, hey, go for a football. Doop, like that. Okay, I am going to now retire to the backyard and cut the grass and yell at the dogs and stuff like that. I got my anti-AK hat right here. So thanks for watching.
A few moments later.